So hey, hello, internet. Welcome to day 2 of the Naboo Open. I am one of your hosts, Chris Allen, and I'm with.
This is Peter Fu, and I wish I could say I'm a co-host. I'm really just a guest in Chris Allen's world here.
Everyone's a guest in my world.
So, internet, we have a bit of a late start today, but we're on our left. We're seeing Colin Pinkerton playing out of Toronto, California. His local store is Dueling Grounds, and he's been playing X-Wing for 2 years. He's running a Poe 9 with R2-D2, auto thrusters, the Black 1 title, Push the Limit, for a total of 43 points. And his second ship is Dash, Super Dash. So we have Dash Rendar, Heavy Laser Cannon, Outrider, Veteran Instincts, Engine Upgrade, Ray, for a total of 57 points. To our right, we are joined once again by Mr. Graham Schofield from Face to Face Games, the Prototype Toronto League. That's PTL for those in the know. Graham is also from Canada, so we have an all-Canada top sheet right now. Graham, once again, is running that Rebel Jank, as Chris likes to say, the Rourke Arnett with a TLT and Operations Specialist for 28 points. Jess Pava with R3A2, that's the stress spot, with integrated astromech. We also have Rex, the new TIE Fighter, with Chopper, Black Market Slicer Tools, and Sabine's Masterpiece. Rounding things out is Biggs at 29 points with R2-D2 in integrated master mech. Both Graham and Colin are at 100 points total. Colin won the initiative bid by calling hits on a hits-miss, by calling for hits, and he elected to take initiative, placing the first rock on the top left. So we're about in turn 3 of the game, and we're seeing some great action right now. Dash came in pretty soft, pretty slow, trying to bait some kind of action from the Rebel Jank. Probably just not really seeing what Graham wanted to do. But now he's doing Dash things once again, doing that engine upgrade, leveraging that engine upgrade, barrel roll, creating that distance, and hopefully getting out of the Biggs leash. We see Graham. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of action right now. I think we're gonna see Graham try to turn in on the Poe as opposed to the Dash, because the Dash is protected by two rocks, effectively at a 45-degree angle, and it's a pretty great positioning for Dash. He's right nudged up to the asteroid, but he is not on the asteroid, and we're back to dials.
Yeah, so that was some amazing time filling, by the way. My God. So thank you for letting me get the overlay set up that broke while I was setting up the camera. And I just want to note, so this is the 6-in-1 table. We swapped it up some just to kind of mix things up. Actually, I'm not going to cover for Duncan. Duncan doesn't want to be on stream. He doesn't want people watching tape on him. So we said, hey, I don't want to be on camera. So we'll switch table 1 to 2, and everybody was cool with that. So this is table 2 we're looking at. So hopefully Duncan loses his game, and we can watch the undefeated player, right?
A funny story about Duncan not wanting me on tape. The first time I played Duncan was in the top 16 at Games and Stuff for the Virginia Regionals, and I had no idea who the Howards were, Chris. And
it's better that way.
And I tell someone, hey, I'm playing Duncan Howard tomorrow for our regional, and their jaw drops. I didn't know I was in the midst of X-Wing royalty, so to speak. No. So I started YouTubing Duncan, and I pretty much psyched myself out. At the end of the day, of course, I lost to Duncan. His tactics were just spot on.
His plot armor was too good. It was right. So what happened? You don't have to go into too much detail, but you got a stressed Whisper and arc of all of his ships, right?
It was a bad day.
That is not what someone who's playing reasonably does. The plot armor, it messes with your mind. It gets in your head. It makes you. So in his game here, let's talk about Howard plot armor for a second.
All right, let's do this.
So Jeremy Howard's opponent did not show. So Jeremy won 100-0. There's also a bye this round because there's an odd number of players.
So is 200-0 or 100-0?
If your opponent doesn't show, it's 200-0. If you get a bye, so Jeremy did better than drawing the bye.
That is some.
Yeah, that's some Howard plot armor. And so Duncan just started playing against Alex, right? Yesterday, the Kanan Biggs that was playing.
Will Dextrator.
Will.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Will. Yeah, and so the first turn, I don't know. Jeremy just comes over laughing and says, "Hey, Biggs is on a rock. Tarok just took all his shields." I assume that was turn 1 or 2.
Oh my goodness!
I think the Howard plot armor might be in full effect here.
And it looks like actually Duncan is taking the same approach that he did with the Imperial Aces, with that Lambda. He is charging with his with the ship that generally we don't see charge up the middle, and he is effectively denying Will's ability to use that Biggs. Back to the action on our board, though, Chris. It looks like both players are comfortable with a dash being close to the action. This is very disciplined play because Graham thinks he can get within 1, and Colin thinks he can push out of 1 to that 2 bubble.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see what the players do in the next round with their movements. I mean, that Hawk is pretty slow, but it still has some maneuverability.
Oh, and it has a TLT, which Dash not a fan of TLTs. As I'm sure every Dash player out there knows. You're like, yes, I'm gonna throw an HLC and do 2 to 3 damage to their TLT carrier, and their TLT carrier goes, cool, I'm gonna do the same thing back, except I cost half the points you do.
And we see Poe push for the focus and target lock. Hey, Chris, by the way, the new driver on this looks great. We're getting a lot of. This looks pretty high def right now. So
thank you. It should no longer autofocus as well, which is exciting. That's.
So what do you predict that we're going to see in terms of the next round and in terms of who we're targeting right now?
So this is another one of those really interesting turns. So usually Rex in this list does not want to be a blocker because if he blocks for 2 turns, he doesn't get his condition. But here, Rex can block almost all of Dash's dial. He just has to call the right move. So, like for instance, if Dash is taking that 3-turn right just to get behind everything, like you would if you're playing against Dash, you're expecting him to take that like 3-turn right boost. It's push dash, right? I've already forgotten.
Yes, no, it's VI dash.
VI. All right, so that changes things a lot. Yeah, so it's still engine A, so he can still take that 3-turn boost. But this is 9-po. Okay. So he gets to choose the order they go in. So yeah, he can do that. But Rex can block it, right? Rex can just take that 1 turn left and then barrel roll appropriately, or 2 or 3 turn left and barrel roll appropriately. And if he misses that block, then Post just can kill him.
It's going to be painful. And for our internet listeners at home, once again, that Rex is a chopper, so it's not afraid of bumping. And when you team that up with the operations specialist on Rourke, we have a pretty powerful blocking ship right there.
That shoots at PS12 and makes you throw less dice. Why are Rebel TIE Fighters better than Imperial TIE Fighters?
Why is Sabine on everything?
I want to get off Rebels' wild ride.
It's a Rebel world, and we're just in for the ride. Yeah. So have you seen much of Black Market Slicer tools at this tournament so far, Chris? I mean,
I've seen it exactly on that Rex, and that is it.
And it's interesting because when that card first dropped, everyone thought.
Yeah, well, we were at Gen Con. I was playing. Me and Jeremy were playing in Hangar Bay, just testing out. Like, hey, can we still play push aces after this comes out? And so he was playing double caster with tactician, and I was playing, the old. I'm not. We're called crate aces, Soontir Inquisitor and Jammer Shuttle. And I won, but it was because it was the first time he'd ever played casters, and it was by like 1 hole. I had no business being in that game. Black Market Slicer Tools just does such horrible things to Imperial Aces that, I strongly consider every time can I play Soontir? I don't know how much Asajj is going to be out there, how much Slicer Tools. Because either one, you just, there are hard counters in X-Wing, and you are not invited to this game counters in X-Wing.
Now,
and Slicer Tools is one of those you aren't invited to this game counters.
Now, something, Chris, I've always wondered is, with the onset of these negative adverse effects from stress, whether it's from LATs or Asajj or even Black Market Slicer Tools, why haven't we seen more Upsilons giving coordinates to VI aces instead of PTL aces?
So that's something locally we were testing is VI Karner Jacks to deal with Paratani with an Upsilon shuttle. So you coordinate them as focus or evade every turn and bring them with something like Omega Leader. So you can do the same thing with Omega Leader that sloops and has focus, target, lock, evade every turn is dirty, by the way. If you haven't played it, you should. It's hilarious. But they're still just so fragile. Like if you joust. Let's say you joust Finn Rao, because if you're Carno Jacks at PS10, and you can't really arc dodge that well. You've only got booster barrel roll at PS10, so you can do a little bit of arc dodging, but it's still really hard. Which is one of the strengths of VI Kylo, the Kylo shuttle at PS8. is you can get that PS8 coordinate, which is so strong. But again, like against Finral, that's you paid for 6 points of pilot skill that do nothing for you.
We have a pretty interesting move here. We're seeing we're seeing a 3 hard, I believe.
That's 2.
So that's a 2 hard.
That's a 2, yeah.
So that kind of closes him off from that.
Oh yeah, he's going for the dash block for sure here.
I believe we're having some debate as to whether a bump occurs on the far left side of the players, which is the top side of the camera.
Looks like it's gonna bump.
We may need a TO for this because
they cleared it themselves.
Okay.
When it's 90-degree angles like that, it's usually pretty easy because you can see, you just put the ship at the end. Like, can I put the ship down? Yes, no. There's not too much, but.
Now, Chris, have you ever been in a tournament situation where the marshal or the judges use a house measurement tool as opposed to one of the players' tools?
Kind of. So, so when you're TOing a tournament, usually you'll notice that like you say, hey, here's my laser. The judge will say, oh no, thank you. We can't really trust lasers and things to be right because we don't know that they're actually drawing straight lines. Not like we think people are bringing rigged equipment or anything.
No, but they're $5 lasers.
They're $5 lasers, right?
Yeah.
And something like, even if it's anybody's range ruler is fine because it's a straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually if you're checking range, you just grab either player's range ruler because as long as it's consistent throughout the game, it doesn't matter if it's a millimeter or 2 off. Because they've been playing by that's range 3 the whole game. There's no reason to change it now. But for something like a laser, you generally want to avoid using something like that just because you can't trust it. Like, I don't know if you've taken one of those Harbor Freight lasers, the $5 ones you're taking out. Like, stand like 20 feet from a wall and project it at it. It's not straight.
No. So, Chris, as some of our listeners have noticed, on the older non-acrylic templates, there's a little bit of wiggle room between the nubs.
Oh, there's
and
a
in
lot.
those
Especially the cardboard ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in those 90-degree situations, how do you approach that? Do you allow the wiggle room to possibly prevent a bump or cause a bump?
So, I think within reason. I don't know. Like, the rule is the template has to fit in the ship, and it has to fit in the other end of the ship. But even with acrylic templates, you've got a good 0.5 millimeter space on either side of the template. The cardboard ones like fold and everything. Honestly, I haven't seen cardboard templates past like round 1 or 2 of a tournament ever. I don't think everyone has acrylic templates because the cardboard ones, after like 100 games, man,
yeah,
they're in
rough.
rough shape. But like you're allowed to. It's not even like you're allowed to as if it's something dirty. It's more like the template fits in there, and you've got the wiggle room is on the player who's moving the ship side. So if you got a particularly close maneuver, maybe that like 0.5 millimeter of space on the side of the template is going to be enough to avoid a rock. Maybe it won't be, but give it a shot. Just make sure you're very precise because if you start sliding templates around on ships and moving them around, your opponent's not going to be happy.
And Internet, this is just one of those insights from Chris that it's very valuable to have because he's been a judge at these top level events and he's able to share what's going through the judges, the marshals' minds, and something you don't really get to do very often because judges don't like explaining their thought process. Not that they don't like, they just don't have the time.
You got too many places to be.
You got 261 players and only a handful of judges. You have to be efficient.
Yeah,
with
thankfully
your
I can say I haven't judged a 200-person event, but closer to 100, just regionals. Oh, Dash doing dash. Oh, Dash has the lock. Okay. Oh, Dash doing dash things. There's Dash doing dash things.
And is that
That's 4 hits.
Oh, yeah, that is those are blanks. That's it.
So that looks like a.
I think he's dead.
And I can see it makes sense that Dash just rips apart this Rebel Jank because he's got his damage output is basically that TLT every turn.
It's really interesting seeing this Dash build on this top table.
Isn't it?
I mean, I'm surprised, but I'm surprised at the list, not at Graham's talent. And I'm really eager to see how Colin goes forward.
We're joined by. The mic's not on. There you go.
Oh, hello.
Hello, that's Mr. Plot Armor himself, Jeremy Howard, getting the bye. Congrats on your win.
The super bye, 200-0.
Yep.
200-0 win.
Yep,
Like a boss.
totally earned it. Was the guy Canadian?
I don't know. I haven't met him yet. He still hasn't shown.
Oh no.
Internet.
I hope he shows. That's brutal.
Internet, I just like to say that
All the shields, all the cards, everything.
Oh man, what cards?
Yeah, the plastic Lothal cards.
with
Oh
the, with
yeah.
our
Well, you
Bush-
get those regardless for making day 2,
Yeah, but he doesn't.
if he doesn't show.
I gave it away. He didn't.
Savage.
I asked the judge. I'm like, "What do I do with these?" He's like, "It's yours." I'm like, "Okay." So I gave it to a friend.
You want to give me 2 of those shields?
Nope.
Man.
So Chris, can you, Chris? Actually, I apologize so much. I forgot to introduce you properly.
Oh God. Please
s-
no.
So
What's happening?
and now I have the
Jeremy, stop.
opportunity
Jeremy,
to
stop him. Jeremy,
now
I don't
I
know
have the
what's happening.
opportunity to,
Where are
to
we going?
introduce Mr. Jeremy Duncan as well. So we have Chris Allen from the Crate Squadron, who has taken his time and energy
South Nova.
and resources to bring this podcast on his own volition, and he does this voluntarily. And I can't thank him enough for how much professionalism that has been experienced throughout this tournament.
He
just
does it for
bringing these
hand
records. And to my right,
Jeremy
Internet-
tried to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of Jeremy, trying to make me have to go back and edit this. Joke's on you. There's no way I'm doing it.
Yes.
to my right is Mr. Jeremy Duncan.
No.
He's
Jeremy Howard. Best
so
Jeremy.
sorry,
Only Jeremy.
sorry, Jeremy Howard.
No. Jeremy Duncan.
Shut Chris.
Third best Howard.
He is. It is truly a privilege to be able to be joined by both of these guys because they're one of the most.
Be
They're
the sandwich.
they're the ni-
Be the meat in our bread.
I'm the meat of the Howard bread. I'm
There.
sorry, Peter.
they're the ni-
I'm sorry.
they're just the
We're
they're
trying.
as you can see from this broadcast right now. They're just the nicest folks. You hear these awful things on the internet about Jeremy or Duncan, and you meet them in person, and you realize they're truly class acts. And not only that, they're just tactical geniuses of this game, and they have so much to not only share at the community, but also to help the community make us laugh.
His pants are literally on fire.
You said Chris Allen and professional in the same sentence. Everybody knows you're lying through your teeth.
So Jeremy, Chris and I have been trying to dissect this, but how do you think a Dash Po 9 made it all the way to a 6-1?
Gosh, what?
Yeah.
A Dash Po 9.
Push PS9 Po with VI dash.
VI Dash. Like, how do you break this
is it
down?
3 nines? Yes.
It's 2 9s.
Oh, I saw a Typhoon. I thought that was so good. One second, let me look at this list.
So
Yeah,
while
so
Jeremy takes a look,
he's having his mind blown over there right now. There's no video on him, but
Well, he's got Ray, so he can bank shield. He can bank shields. He can bank focus tokens early.
yep.
Take the target lock, or barrel roll.
It's
when it
really weird
matters.
seeing dash slow roll. By the way,
So
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got Ray. You're gonna
Yep.
slow roll. It's like Moldy Crow. You're gonna slow roll at the beginning, bank your focus, and spend it later. Hopefully, you don't run out.
so in terms of points distribution, do you think the 3-point PTL is well, rather
On Poe.
the VI with the VI with the Ray at 3 points is a good trade-off for the PTL?
Well, like, yes, because. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, being a 9, being able to kill something before or move after, be able to see where everyone is, especially with a mobile dash like that.
Yeah, there's
He
not a lot of
is-
PS8 out there
he has
right now.
engine,
There's a
so-
lot of PS7.
Yeah, there's a lot of PS7. So he's moving with stuff like Ketsu, Bosk, Nora, other 7s that are big in the meta right now. Old Turok, for example, like Duncan's flying. So there are other 7s, and if you obviously go above that, now you're shooting and you're moving after and shooting first.
Yeah, you don't need a
Um,
bid if you're PS9, you don't have to worry about the bid.
Well, was you 100?
Yeah, there's
100.
Oh, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's tanky rebels. It's not like Flying Soontir where you get one hit and you blow up. Poe has R2D2. Dash has 5 shields, 5 hull. You're not in terrible shape.
I'm very glad to see R2D2 on Poe and not R5P9.
I can't hear you because I don't have headphones.
Get some headphones.
So
Get the dick out of your mouth and speak louder.
So Poe's got a R2D2 as opposed to the R5 P9, and do you think that was a response to a fear of the Hotshot Copilot?
Hotshot Copilot, Old Turok. There's a lot of
Stress hog.
Yeah, Stress Hog. There's a lot of token stripping things in the game now.
Yeah, there's
I
so
mean,
many
which is
that
fine.
I wouldn't play
I'm
Poe,
not
honestly.
complaining,
Yeah.
but
There's so many that I wouldn't play Poe, right?
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, in PS9,
I just mean I'm scared, not like
he
it's
has
bad.
Black 1 title and push, so he can get away from Old Turok, removes it at a 7, or maybe a 9 if someone VIs him. But I mean, it's not bad.
So Internet, while I hand Jeremy the Graham Schofield's list so you can take a look and give us his insight, Chris, why don't you tell me about that 3 hard that the Dash just made away from everything, kind of leaving his Poe to himself?
Well, honestly, it's really surprising. So look at how. So Dash is. He's kind of opening himself to the chase here because, the standard Dash thing would be, you want a 3-turn boost or 1-turn barrel roll the other way. But both are kind of scary because that's Jess and the Hawk. So the Hawk can just take, like a 2 or 3 straight and call it good. He'll have arc range no matter what. And Jess can take that 2 green bank and almost do the same thing. Like Dash can 3-turn right and boost and pose behind everything, and that's okay-ish. But, he's still got the TLT coming in. Poe kind of eats TLTs.
Yep.
But
especially with that auto thruster.
Yeah, you don't really want to get that shot at you. You'd rather have Dash contribute. But, it's not bad. Like, Colin is in... Wait, I'm backwards. Graham, did I put the players' names on the wrong side?
No, you're correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
Colin is playing Dash, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So Colin's Dash is in a good spot. Or he's in a good spot here, I should say. Like that Poe against 2 of those 3 ships, I think, would be favored for Poe, and Dash just contributing in any way makes the game pretty one-sided from here on out, I think.
Now, in this meta of...
Oh, Dash is stressed. Sorry.
Dash is stressed from the stress bot.
Okay,
Yep.
That's why he's keeping him kind of only halfway out here. So he's probably going to take like the 1 or 2 straight and just let Dash tank some shots.
So, in this meta of damage that goes through shields, whether it's Kylo or Vader, is it a high-risk maneuver to be running a 43-point Poe 9?
If you'd asked me 2 days ago, I would have said yes. There's going to be so much Asajj and Slicer tools out there that you cannot play any push ace. Turns out I don't know what the meta of this game is. The meta's made up and the points don't matter.
And internet, and it's the beauty of Naboo. We have 261 people post at the first major tournament post FAQ, and we're seeing some of the wildest ships. We've seen triple YVs. That's right, triple YVs.
My round 1, I lost my round 1 to quad T70. 3 blues. And Jess.
It's almost as if everyone decided to say, you know what, I'm going to play what is fun for me as opposed to what's super competitive. And I would say, actually, that's been pretty true about the stream so far. We've seen Rebel Jank.
Yeah, it's almost like, so people don't know what's good, so they're just playing what they're comfortable with, which has led to some really interesting things.
About the truly most competitive list in terms of our community we've seen so far has been the wonderful John Louis, who is 6'1" right now, playing out of the Nova area.
And Kane and Biggs, I think, are the 2 meta-ES medalists we've seen
That's a good point,
on
yeah.
Table 1.
So here we are with... so, Chris, walk me through this. When you bring in a 43-point Poe like this in this type of situation, are you just hoping that you don't get some weird deviation of a list on your round 1 and 2?
So, one of the big strengths of Rebels as a faction is if you... Like, they are super point efficient. And people are out there listening. It's like, did Chris Allen just say that Rebel ships are point efficient? What I mean is Rebel region aces are super point efficient. If you run into Jank, you can crush Jank. Jank is your specialty. Not like Obi-Wan's specialty with Sith Lords. It's actually your specialty. Because if they run just a bunch of silly things, you tank a bunch of damage, your ace goes down to 1 or 2, shields, or even into hull, whatever, and then you get it all back.
So, Internet, we're into this odd universe where the Hawk, the Rourke, is actually chasing down the Dash right now.
What is happening?
And I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure I've ever seen this before. It's not. Remember, it's not a Jan or a Kyle Hawk. This is a Rourke Hawk coming after that Dash. Not only is it a Rourke Hawk, but it's a Rourke Hawk with an operations specialist. So there's incentive to miss.
Yep.
And he's not having any of it.
It's funny because Poe is so good at. Poe is such a good counter to ops specialist on TLT because Poe doesn't avoid both TLT shots usually. He takes one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Poe takes one, you shut down ops specialist because you got to miss both TLT shots.
So and Internet, you're seeing a lot of replacement of the ships. We're seeing a lot of. Don't get this wrong. They're not playing sloppy. These are tactical bumps we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that going to clear? That's so close. He does it. Wow.
He does it.
Fancy.
We've seen about 3 or 4 bumps so far this round, and they've all been for a reason.
Yeah, he was trying to block that 1 bank and the 2-turn, but he just barely missed the 2-turn.
But again, it's not a necessarily terrible thing that of having that occur, because right now you're forcing, Graham is forcing, Colin is forcing Graham
The ships are on the wrong side of the table. Help.
Yeah, to either take the offensive PS12 Rex with suppressive fire, or to keep it himself to maybe trigger that operations specialist for a double focus. So this is going to be an interesting shooting phase, Chris.
Oh yeah. So let's see if Dash's greens are actually reasonable when you don't have Cannon Crew. Looks like he's just going to take that 2 straight. He just wants to keep getting these range 3 shots. So the question here is he in range of work there? Because he would way rather be out and just take shots at Pava and then eat 3 to 4, have 3 to 4 green dice on his return shot. Looks like he's out of range of work. So they're going to check. Work's going to say, hey, you're PS12 now, and Jess is going to shoot first.
So we are going to see the offensive PS12 selection as opposed to the defensive. Which makes sense because only one ship is in range.
Yeah, he's only got 1 shot, so it's kind of hard to see at this point, but that TIE fighter is facing towards the edge of the board, does not have shots. So it looks like 3 symbols coming in. He's deciding whether or not to focus. Says, screw it, I'm going to focus. Dash says, that's cool. I'm Dash.
That is a dodgy dash.
Yep, so you can see the shot misses. Opspec kicks in. Jess gets a focus. How cool is that, by the way? So he's checking for rerolls, which is technically out of phase, but, you know, it's not a big deal at this point because there's no other information to be gained.
And that is a focus. And post shots go through, and we are into we're 2 in. We're 2 in on Jess.
Yep.
One hit against. No, the 1 hit goes through.
Yep. Let me go get a health update on these ships. I'm not sure how much health Jess has left, for instance.
All right, and while Chris does that, let me thank our judges once again. If you're just tuning in or haven't been able to catch our previous shows, our head marshal here is Ian Hamp, and he's got 4 years of experience of judging or marshaling premier level events for FFG. He's an Imperial Assault player as well as an X-Wing player. He's from the Phoenix, Arizona area and represents the Phoenix Squadron. Assisting Ian is Kyle Kemble, Dave Icona, Bob Levizo, Patrick Tyson, and Gus Demanis. Everyone but Kyle is from the Brothers Grimm, and it's about a 5-hour drive from Long Island, New York. So we really thank them for taking the time and energy to come all this way through a blizzard to Syracuse to help herd some cats. Along with, if I could actually just brag on Kyle Kemble a little bit, he's actually got 2 system opens under his belt. Ian's got 4, but Kyle's a little newer to the scene, and he's done so well, been so professional on his ability to diffuse tense situations and to explain the rules that FFG's really shown a lot of faith in selecting him to judge these events. And Chris, I see Chris is back now. Chris, can you give us the health update?
So I didn't realize Dash is at 2 hull left. Jess is at 1 hull left. I didn't check the integrated situation, but effectively Jess has 1 shot left in her.
So that is a 2 hull dash, and you see the power of the TLTs right now, just chasing that dash down.
You got 5 turns, Dash. Enjoy your 5 turns.
Yeah.
And and Poe is missing a shield, but that's not really relevant. I don't think anyone expects Poe to die this game. It's just the question of how many ships Graham can keep on the board to compare to Poe's point cost at the end.
So Chris, one of the worst parts of X-Wing when you get to these highly competitive levels is unfortunately you wind up playing your friends or people you know. And this is actually the case between Colin and Graham, Chris.
Is it?
They're both from Canada, but it's not
they deserve it then.
It's not because all Canadians know each other, but it's because they actually came down together. While Colin is not part of the Prototype Toronto League, he is close. They work together a lot, much like the SJPA New York Connection, as well as the Cray Squadron and Nova Squadron. So it's always disappointing.
We don't work with them. We're our own unit.
It's always disappointing when you have to play your friends, Chris. You've had to do it a lot, actually. Can you talk us through how you separate the business from the friendship sometimes?
Yeah, it's easy. I just scrub out against all my friends always. And then I don't have to worry about, trying super hard. I got... Hey, we're returned by Jeremy Howard. Did I leave? Oh, you turned it off.
Duncan is
Okay,
ripping his opponent apart.
Plot armor in full effect?
Yeah.
Actually, Jeremy, you'd probably be the best person to ask this, since your brother is part of this game.
Jeremy, you played Tim yesterday, right? We're talking about playing friends in tournaments.
The worst. It really is a terrible feeling. A, when you play him, and B, when you beat him.
Well, it's
C,
fun to
when
play
you
him,
knock
right?
him out of the cut.
Like, playing against friends is hilarious.
So, how we got into this conversation is Colin and Graham here are very good friends from the Toronto area, and they were kind of disappointed.
Sorry. So Poe did just take down Jess, which isn't too. I mean, we expected it to happen,
Yeah.
but
So they came down together. They made this long drive, and now they have to drive home, knowing that one of them may have just knocked the other out of the tournament. How do you separate the business from the friendship aspect of that, or even the family aspect of that?
Well, okay, so which one do you want first, friends or family? Because they're completely different.
Well, let's go with the friends, and then we'll get to the family.
So friends, you make up. Like, for example, like.
there you go.
Thank you. For example, like Ron Brandon, he's knocked me out of the cut twice now.
Heartless.
Actually, 3 times. Not out of the cut, but he's beat me. So Gen Con 2015, we played top 16 at Gen Con Nationals. He knocked me out top 16. Pittsburgh 2016, he knocked me out top 16 because I was stupid. I knocked myself out. And then top 4 at Games and Stuff this year, he beat me to go on to the final and play Duncan. If I had beaten him, it would have been a complete mirror match.
Yeah.
Duncan and I in the final.
Ron took out the mini boss, then had to take on the final boss.
Yep, and he lost the final boss. But yeah, so go back to the question. I mean, you play friends. It is what it is. You don't hold grudges. You joke about it later, like, aha, yeah, you beat me.
Like, for example, I played Ben Kavanaugh, who's my arch rival nemesis that I hate and don't like at all, of course. Last round of Worlds, we're both 3-2, right? Elimination match at Worlds. So before the game, I'm like, how are we paired against each other at 3-2? What's going on in this tournament, right? And then he goes, because you're bad or something like that. But we're like, all right, well, you just want to split the weapons failures at the end. Like whoever doesn't make it, give the other one. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we just had a friendly game. He won because I'm bad. And that was that, right? Like, all I do is yell Kavanaugh at him every time when I see him now, which is at every tournament. So, but I don't have to go to tournaments to play my brother. How's that feel?
I'm sorry, what? I was watching this Poe shoot Ahsoka.
I don't have to go to tournaments to play my brother. How's that feel?
So yeah, playing family, like, obviously Duncan's better than me.
And your dad.
Duncan's he hasn't always been better than me, but I mean, like, I got to deal with. He's got like 3 regional wins over my 1. He's got a national win.
And yours was in North
we
Carolina.
Both top 4 to World.
Before
so
I
it's
played.
like,
Doesn't count.
What?
So your regional win was in North Carolina before I played. It doesn't count.
Oh, whatever. You were playing. You were there.
At 2015? No, I wasn't there.
Oh, whatever. I beat Tyler Barnett. That's cool.
Twice.
No, he beat me in Swiss. I beat him in top 4.
Oh, gotcha.
But anyway.
How'd that go? You beat him this most recent regional. Did you take that regional home?
Nope. But anyway, so yeah, playing family, like like I said, Duncan's better than me. He'll always be better than me. It's just I play my best, and I deal with him on a daily basis. It's daily poking from him, which is even worse because he's younger.
Well, he's got more time than you.
Yeah, I mean, your parents had time to experiment and figure out how to make a better kid.
Exactly. So yeah, it's all good. Like at the end of the day, like you never see Duncan. I come to like fisticuffs over a tournament. Like even
I'll see you come to fisticuffs though. Just not about X-wing.
Well, we goof around, but we're not like full on like angry fighting. We're goofing around. It's a thing.
Don't believe his lies.
Now, Jeremy, you said something that reminded me that something I want to talk about. The importance of things like this stream and being part of a community is you're able to develop your meta, and being able to have a good core group of friends to play against or to play with is so important in this game, because here we have Jeremy here to my right, getting disappointed at himself for top 4 in a regional. That's a premier level event that he is upset with himself for not actually winning. And when you set the bar that high for yourself, you also set it up that high for all your friends, your family, and you all start playing at a higher and higher level.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to talk about this in-game really quick, this in-game situation we're in.
Yes.
So Dash is dead. That Dash is at 2 or 3 hull.
Yep.
Poe is now very, 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 very scared to push, because he's got if he doesn't put damage into that Rex and 3 turns in a row, you can just get Slicer straight off the board.
I agree.
So Rex is kind of shutting down. At least, I mean, he'll probably let himself get Slicered once or twice because who cares? That third one, though, means he can no longer
Is
push.
dash be a 0?
No,
No.
it's Rourke.
Rourke, PS12.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wrecked.
So,
Oh wait, no, that dash might be PS0 because Rourke can't work. You can't work yourself, can you?
Rourke is other shift 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Dash doing dash things.
So that's a 4 damage dash.
Will Rourke still had a shield, so yeah, Rourke's fine.
So, Chris or Jeremy, do you foresee that dash trying to maybe bump that TLT and try to live one more round?
I don't think he
No,
can.
I get around. Like he'll 3 hard.
He's stressed.
Set up the barrel. Oh, he does have Kanan.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
Is that-
it's Ray?
Is that stress on the board or is that assigned?
I
I
think.
don't. He went 1 forward last turn, so I don't think it's
Oh, okay.
he's stressed.
Gotcha. It's just
I think it's off the board. But yeah, 3 hard. Barrel something to either bump or.
so Poe just whiffs out against Rex, and that's what I was talking about, right? If you start whiffing those shots and keep your stress, get Slicer tool, it's scary.
This is a difficult situation for Colin and Graham actually. They're both
Dash down to 1 hole.
We're
TLT shot number 2. Gets 2.
Two.
oh,
out of
and
there.
the dash is gone, and obviously obviously
He's happy to give that away.
yeah, obviously Colin is disappointed, but again, these top tier players they do not get mentally down on themselves. They continue to attack and press the initiative. And Colin is not going to give up. That Poe 9 is very, very viable. As Chris mentioned before, these Rebel ships are very point efficient. That Rebel regen is something you do have to worry about. And that tie has to get around to get the suppressive fire down. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Poe against 2 cheaper ships is Poe's dream zone to be in. You know, you just joust them. They will die before you do. You get a shield upgrade every single turn. It's crazy.
16. So right now we have 44 points on the board for Graham, and we have 43 points on the Poe 9.
Yep.
This is
And there's no bid either because it's points destroyed, not points
And
remaining.
Black Market Slicer tools.
Yep. Blanks it again.
Not hitting.
Doesn't look like a single Black Market Slicer tools has gone through, unfortunately for
Graham.
Graham.
And the good news is, no matter what happens, one of these players is going to go 5-2. They're going to get their shields.
Yeah. Well,
again.
so these guys are 5-1. So somebody is 7-1 after this game.
Yeah, and someone is going to have to play the loser of the Duncan Howard, and
Boost there. Is
Will.
that what just
Wow,
happened? No. Oh, it's push. That's right. What's happening, Chewington?
we do see the push.
I know. I don't know. I'll talk.
Now, Jeremy, what do you see for the next round coming in terms of that Rourke? You see him coming in or out?
He'll probably turn right as we're looking at it.
Okay.
Work right. But I mean, even if Poe bank was left, he can boost right and still get him an arc. It's not a problem.
Now, when you're playing these kind of situations, it's coming down to the wire, and the mental chess is at 110%. What is your thought process when we're trying to make your decisions?
Tough question. Sometimes you just.
Jeremy, closer to the mic.
Sometimes you just. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you don't think about moves. Sometimes you spend a lot of time planning moves. You see.
Yep, and true to form, our X-Wing Pro was correct.
And Poe's in a 1 hard bank left, and then boost right. You get a shot. Oh, he might 1 hard barrel block
He's
the 1
stressed.
bank.
Oh, you mean you're talking about Rex?
The Rex.
Oh,
No, he just wants to slice
Black
tools.
markets. Oh, and
Dude,
that-
roll a different die.
Yeah,
That is,
3 blanks in a row. So that's the difference, just for everybody out there, between a dead Poe and a fully alive Poe. I mean, Poe wouldn't. Poe's
I
not
was
gonna.
wrong.
Poe's not
So
gonna
bad.
push at 1 hole left, but
I
then
think
that means that now he's not fully Starlock. He's just focus.
it was a pretty close call, though. I mean, I think he was trying to hedge his bets because of the
I mean,
distinction
he's
between
got
the.
to kill something.
Yeah.
I don't, the TLT coming back, he's got to kill work. TLT destroys 2 agility ships.
Yep.
Now, Chris, which ship would you be if you were Colin with that Po 9? Which ship would you be more afraid of, and as on a 1-to-1 combo?
Is
If
Poe
I'm
really
calling?
at 1 home?
No.
Poe's
Poe's at full.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poe's at
okay.
full.
I thought we were
That's-
talking about Poe.
No. That's what I was saying. If Poe were like, if those slicers had gone off, Poe can't push anymore. But now he can push. You know,
Yeah.
he's got 3 hole up. He doesn't care.
So, Chris, who would you be more worried about between Rourke and Rex?
Oh, definitely Rourke.
So
Definitely Rourke.
why, if slicers go off, why can't Poe push?
If he gets down to 1 hole, I'm saying.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. I thought you
So,
were saying
'cause-
like.
so he's rolled 3 slicer tools. On average, he's expecting 1.5 hits. And if he'd gotten 2 of those, then Poe can't like boost focus, which makes him way worse against the TLT.
Yeah.
And again, internet. This isn't concurrent math. Just because he's rolled 3 blanks doesn't mean he's bound to hit
No,
a
next
hit.
time he rolls, it'll be the 4th die, so he'll get 2 hits on it. Armada dice, right? Fifth. There's been 4 blanks.
1, 2, 3. That was 4 right there.
Wow. So yeah, he'll get 2.5 hits on his next roll.
Jeremy, is that a photographic memory I'm detecting?
Yes.
So another key to the Howard success, just genetic excellence.
No, just cheat. That's the key to Howard's success.
I mean, some people like. I told D was it last at Hoth Open last year. He's like, "How many turns do you plan out ahead?" I'm like, "I plan at least 3 or 4 turns ahead, but obviously it changes based on what they do. But like, I know what my ships are gonna do, a couple turns in a row. But obviously, like I said, games change. Not everything.
You got a desired
works out
plan
in
at
your
the
favor.
very least.
Yeah. Chris, was that a 15-minute warning or a 30-minute
Hey,
warning?
there goes
30 minutes. It happened.
Black.
It
Nope,
triggered.
nope, not a shield.
Nah, shield. Yeah, he's got
Not a
it.
shield. Damage card down. Put the shield back. There you go. Shield
So
back,
it looks
card
like
down.
Colin's plan for Black Market Slicer Tools was not worrying about it at all. He's picking shields up.
Yeah, and
Oh, he called the block.
Did he?
3 straight.
Was it the 3 straight?
Shield back.
Yep. Oh, 2? 2 straight.
Wrecked.
Oh, 3 straight. Yeah.
And
Boost. 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 Do it.
and Grant.
Oh, he's already range 1. I can't tell from the camera.
Does it matter? You'd rather focus target
He's
lock
not
here,
range
right?
1. He's
Colin,
boosting straight.
Colin is he's going for it. He is going for that straight boost.
Ooh, now range 1. Do you target lock or focus?
You target lock. Why would you not? Why would you focus?
Oh, you're not taking any shots, so yeah,
Yeah.
take the target lock.
Yep, all in offense.
So my question here is it better to focus target lock at range 2 though? You don't care about that TLT on Poe.
Well, yeah, because now you're range
And-
1.
Well,
And you're
your offense here is worse than it would be at range 2 with focus target lock. He's looking at 2.5 hits here versus range.
Dude, I never played those probabilities. Fuck that. Roll
All right.
dice.
Roll.
And the dice are being rolled.
Jeremy,
Oh,
I planned the game 3 turns
Oh,
in advance. Doesn't
wow,
worry about
that is-
probability.
4 hits.
that,
Wrecked.
Just roll like a god. Easy.
2 evades.
that hawk is down.
Now you run.
And once again, Chris, we're obviously we're not surprised at the talented play by both of the players, but
Here the resistance.
the Dash Po 9 is going to be going to the top
Did
table.
he not put the stress down on Poe?
Apparently not. I mean, Slicers he's gonna go for the Slicer, so they know. They know. it's
Suppressive
stress.
fire.
Nope. Wow, stress didn't go down, so no Slicers. That hurts.
Oh no, slicer tools went off. No.
the,
No,
the slicer
he took
tool
an action. Yeah, because Poe just pushed. He boosted target lock.
and did not put the stress down,
Yeah.
and that's a misplay just due to just being tired.
Yep.
Even though we are in day 2,
Neither of them caught it.
yeah. Even though we are in day 2, this is people on
Well, I
average
mean-
got 5 hours of sleep.
Yep.
It is,
And also frustration about like wait like if you have the game and all of a sudden tables turn like you have one turn like that where
Yeah,
just everything goes
because like that
wrong.
stress, even if that Slicer tools goes off, it doesn't matter. Honestly, like Poe is never dying to a TIE fighter.
To a TIE fighter. I mean, is what it is.
Yep.
we have a judge call, the
be
first
right
judge call of the tournament
let me go
of
figure
the
out what this
R2 for here. And while Chris and Jeremy go to see what happened or what occurred, and I believe it's a arc call between the Duncan, Howard, and Will Dextrade game. I'd like to take a moment to also thank Steve Cameron of Cascade Games, CascadeGames.com, or Cascade Games LLC at Twitter as their Twitter handle. Steve and Cascade Games have been hosting all 4 U.S. System Opens, and they've been doing a remarkable job, which is why FFG is giving them that confidence. With Jeremy and Chris back, can you kind of tell us what that TO call was for on the?
A-wing shooting Manaroo.
So it was the ARC internet.
Our question.
And how is that game looking with that Rebel Jank
Actually,
against?
I saw all of Duncan ships were alive in a single A-wing.
So the Duncan mission is plodding forward.
Yeah, the Duncan plot armor appears to be fully intact. No chinks.
Duncan's full list versus 2 A-wings.
Oh, okay. I missed an A-wing.
Now, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, but Duncan has yet to lose a ship in this tournament.
Correct. He's lost half on Manor a few times, but he lost Ultra Rock once.
What a scrub.
He lost Ultra Rock once. But no, he like. Yeah,
When you say lose, do you mean he dropped it on the ground and couldn't find it?
No, yeah, it got off the board.
And there goes Rex.
Got dead.
Oh. And
So yeah, we're talking about friends playing friends. Like at the end of the day, like one's kind of upset, the other one's kind of upset because you beat your friend and the other one lost. It's at the end of the day they're gonna shake hands, hug it out.
and here's the sportsmanship X-wing. We are splitting the tokens, the friends being friends, and that's what you love seeing about this game.
Wait for it. See, I'm waiting for the shake hands and hug it out. It'll happen.
And they're obviously not. They don't enjoy playing each other. They don't enjoy doing this to each other. But we can't discount the fact that Graham could be back.
Oh, we just got the update. He missed 7 slicer tools. And I think he hit 1 or 2.
Jesus.
50-50 odds, and you miss
that hurts
7
so
out of
bad.
9.
But Chris, like we said yesterday, you're not out of it until you're out.
Yep.
I mean, he is still in X2.
Right. So Jeremy and I were saying this morning on the way here, we're like, oh, Jeremy's out. He's playing for Shields. Unless he 100-0s both his opponents. 1 down.
1 down.
Totally earned it.
Wait, could you hear us?
Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and take us out.
There's no way they can hear us.
So thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Chris Allen.
And this is Peter Fu.
And Jeremy Howard.